Mercer said yes. You are on, sir.
Okay, thank you. All right, it's 5 o'clock. We'll call this meeting to order of the Ad Hoc Committee for the 225th celebration. Would you call the roll, please, Madam Secretary?
Member Bailey. Here. Member Hunter. Here. Member Johnson. Member McPherson.
Here.
Member Page.
Here.
Secretary Sims.
Here.
Vice Chair Templeton. Eric Brown.
Present. Have you had an opportunity to look at the minutes? If so, is there a motion to approve the minutes as written?
Move to accept as written.
Is there a second? Any discussion? All in favor say aye. Opposed, no. Ayes have it, motion carries. At this time, we set aside in our meeting citizens' comment. If you're a citizen, just give us your name and address, and we'll give you 3 minutes to talk, and we'll probably be more than happy to let you get in with the conversation during the meeting also. Seeing none, we'll go into our next item, and if you don't care, it's not on the agenda, but we'd like to add, we've got some visitors tonight that I'd reported to you once before about the quilt that we'd asked the ladies, and Miss Verlyn Smith and her ladies are here, and I understand that they've already got it made. Verlyn, if you'd introduce your group to us, please.
Well, I actually just have one of our members, and I'm Verlyn Smith. I know a lot of you. And this is Nancy Marsh. And we belong to a little group that we formed a few years back called the Kingston Lakeview Quilters. And we meet the first Tuesday of every month. And it's just a bunch of different skill levels. And we're going to make sure that we make a pretty quilt. So we've already talked to Robert Bailey and have some ideas we've been kicking around. So we just want to hear what y'all kind of had in mind, and when you need it, size, some of the small details.
Just small details.
Yeah.
Group suggestions. I just thought it'd be a great deal. I thought we could use it at Madam Clerk, if you would show Member Johnson sliding in late here. I just thought it'd look good to use it for a backdrop. For instance, when the governor comes and we have our official cake cutting and celebration, and put it on display at the fort, maybe put it on display where we're going to set aside all of the memorabilia from Kingston. So we're to the point, and they met Tuesday, we met Tuesday, so when I got home I had a message from Verlyn that they were all excited to raring to go. So what do we want them to do now? I thought about the Sonny's deal, but then, with the passing of my wife this last 2 weeks ago, Verlyn, our good friend, called and has volunteered to make my son and I a quilt, and she's using all of the old T-shirts that my wife, ball game T-shirts and all this kind of stuff, which was very, very nice. But I had the opportunity to go to Marilyn's house and look at, well, her shop. I don't know if I'll call it a house or not, but where she performs wonders, and she's kept a scrapbook. And some of the things that she and her friends have put together is just phenomenal. Neckties shaped together, pictures, baby clothes, anything that you could imagine. So I'm glad that I suggested that she get with Robert. Didn't know what we wanted, if we wanted something plain or if we wanted 20 different pictures on it, or do we want to put the seal on it? So just some kind of input to them if y'all have any. If not, we'll just turn them loose and let them surprise us.
I think that'd be
Mr.
good
Chairman,
too.
Mr. Chairman, if I may,
Yes,
I
sir.
am married to a quilter. You don't have to give these folks instructions. All you've got to say is, go do it. They've got the innovation, and I suggest you let them
Good.
have their head.
Okay. Then I'd go one step further. If we do that, let's keep it a secret and let's have an unveiling. And we'll have it either at the city council meeting or something, and we'll put on a ceremony and say that this is the official, and keep it from us. What do you think?
So what happens to the quilt when this is over?
We,
Yeah, that was a question I had.
If there's room at the courthouse, it would be great to display it there, if there's room to keep it, you know.
Robert could probably use it on Thursday afternoons as he takes his nap.
And Friday afternoon too.
There you go.
We pull up a kitty and have a nap.
Absolutely.
it would make a good keepsake for somebody. But
Maybe you could have a raffle or something.
I didn't want to say that, but that may be something that you could do too. I wouldn't want to give away something that
Can't have it
y'all
till after the-
used all your fingers in, but, you know, I could even envision getting people to sign the back of it if the back of it is white and plain.
We'll make sure it is if you want.
I just came thought that, I mean, you know, if you've got all the,
the mayor.
you've got all the council, the mayor, the committee, the park and rec, you got the governor, you got the state reps coming, you got the senators coming for this celebration, so that would even make it even more. I wouldn't want to put it on the front, but even on the back to, because our secretary here just keeps coming up with little things that are just so interesting. She brought me another thing tonight that I'm trying to decipher, where they talked about the birthday, and it was what year? The 150th, where the council did this, and it's all in longhand. It's almost like a foreign language. But yeah, we'll discuss that. But we're going to give you the blessings to go on and do what you want to. Now, what do you need from us now to get that started?
Do y'all need like?
They need a deadline. They need a deadline.
Would be good.
Sir?
They need a deadline. They
What's
need to
your
know when to
deadline?
have it finished.
You gotta get mine done first.
Because Marilyn said she don't do deadlines. You don't put
Yeah.
pressure on Marilyn.
Yeah.
And also, Robert's, we gave him a list of some things, I just kind of brainstormed things about Kingston
Okay.
and history. And we met with him, and he's gonna go through and try to find pictures, and then plus anything else that he thinks, and that way that's gonna be our starting point.
Okay.
So until we get all that, we're still in the thinking.
Okay.
So if we could have it like.
I don't know how long it takes
by
to milk.
July the 4th.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
And display it for July 4th?
Sure, I think we can plan that.
Okay. Because remember, our birthday, our month is October. The actual birth date is the, 23rd on a Wednesday? And
And
we're going to have things planned the whole month that we would display. But if we had by July 4th, that could be the unveiling at whatever celebration we have for the 4th of July. Have it covered up and drum roll. And
So
I'm assuming
somewhere
that
on
y'all
that,
are
could we
going to
put
stitch
smoke
your
in the water
names on the bottom of it somewhere, aren't you?
Say that again.
I said, I'm assuming that you're going to stitch your names on the bottom of it with a date or something.
Yeah, we'll put a label.
Okay. All right. Any other questions for them? Thank y'all for coming down and being with us.
What about that logo that you were,
You want us to email it to you or picture it or?
is it that in? Is that an embroidery, or is that a painting, or is that, I was thinking it
It's
would
just
be
print.
kinda neat, we could maybe
Sonny's looking for it right now.
put that in the
Do we
middle
have
of
that vectorized, Sonny, that,
I've got one.
I'm
here
sure we can
somewhere.
get it any way you need it. But the city council has adopted that as the official logo for the celebration.
Ah, here we go. So here's a big one. It's a little fuzzy, but that's it.
the colors are not, with it being blown up, aren't as vibrant?
Yeah. I can fix that.
Is there a copy that we could get that's clearer than this, since this one's a little?
Miss Kelly?
Sonny got that from the company.
Sonny, can we have them,
That's what she, yeah.
listen, we might can have that vectorized, we might can take it down All Star Promotions and have them vectorize it for us.
They should be able to send us a vectorized copy if we're buying
Yeah.
the pen.
Okay. We're gonna, Sonny's gonna look into that and get that for you. Anything else?
Not right now.
Just go and do good things. Okay? All right, thank you all very much. Let's move on with item number 5 is listed on the agenda. They sent out a thing about trying to come up with,
Let these ladies leave if they don't wanna stay. Do y'all wanna stay for the meeting?
Well, we're just here to hear what is
Okay.
basically gonna, your agenda for that celebration.
okay,
Mr. Chairman, if I may.
yes,
These ladies are with the Fort Southwest Point chapter of the Daughters of the American Revolution.
okay,
And they are part of a committee within their overall group, to look at how they're gonna assist the city and the fort in celebrating our birthday. And so they wanted to come this evening to listen to what we've been discussing, so they know how to best plan their activities for us. So
I'm gonna be
encouraging them to come
looking
sit
at
in.
y'all, and if I see that means you wanna talk, y'all raise up and we're going to talk about it, okay? The next item then is a theme, and they've presented 4 different things about, y'all looked at it to see if any of those meet your fancy for any,
D? D.
Miss Glenda says D.
I hate to say,
What do you say, Sonny?
Oh, I'm sorry. I was looking at D instead of origin, I was thinking forgetting.
No.
Well, you kind of looked like you wanted me to talk to you. Anybody else have anything? Anybody? 'Cause- yeah, there you go.
Short and sweet.
I agree with it, D or B. C is entirely too long. And A is a little too common.
D.
You see that everywhere for things. You like D? D. I'll go with D also.
D.
Let's turn to this side. D, Sandy? So everybody thinks, what do you ladies think? Y'all see that? There was an agenda over here, it's got all that road on it. Yeah, we'll get you a piece of paper.
What they're saying for the theme is Kingston, Tennessee, making memories for 225 years. With the people of Kingston celebrating 225 years. From the frontier to westward expansion to the birth of the atomic energy 225 years on the threshold of American history. Or reconnecting with the past, forging our future. D. Thanks, girls.
There's 2 more for D. Looks like D has got the support of most. Mayor, what do you think?
Instead of reconnecting, can obviously be connecting.
Drop the re and just have connecting?
Well, are we so?
Where's our school person at here? Miss School Board Member? Is that?
Well, I think
or recognizing the past, forging for the future.
And reconnecting is too, but I just think.
Recognizing would be an active verb too, 'cause
Yeah.
you're,
That way that's going.
I was a baseball person, so we didn't do connecting verbs and stuff. Yes, ma'am.
Are you going to be talking mainly about the past of Kingston up to now?
Mhm.
Yes.
Then why forging the future? I think we're celebrating our 225.
Well, you gotta forge for the future to make them understand we've got growth to be done. And we wanna get people to buy into what we're doing for the future of Kingston, not just celebrating the past.
And these are just suggestions that we asked at the last meeting. Everyone seemed to think that we needed a theme to go along with the logo, and people submitted, and this is what came from that. So, yes, ma'am.
I think that, I like that idea, but there definitely needs to be something at the celebration that talks and focuses on.
About what's gonna happen, about how we. can
Not going to
train the
stop
public
here. We're going to.
To keep going.
And I like the word celebrating our past and forging our future. Something like that. Connecting with our past is fine, but we're celebrating it right now.
So your suggestion would be celebrating the past and drop the with, and then forging our future.
Mr. Chairman, if it doesn't make it too long, you also could use those two phrases and put the word while in between them.
And again, we're not in a hurry, but we're in a hurry because we're trying to get everything, the logo and this all set, so we start putting it on the website, that we've got it set, and we're not, we're gonna have one, but
Recognizing the past while forging the future.
tell them out loud there.
What about recognizing the past while forging the future? Keeps everybody busy, keeps it all moving.
Comments, discussions?
I think celebrating sounds more, we're celebrating something, rather than just connecting. Having cake.
It's a celebration. Yeah. We could do celebrating the past while forging the future.
Try that one and see what they think.
Okay, what about,
Get your microphone, turn it toward you there. By the way, we're being recorded, and it's going out on the internet, so they've got to hear us, and I'm having to repeat what you all said so that they can hear it.
celebrating the past while forging the future?
I see nods on the first row, nods on row 3, thumbs ups, Sandy. Legally, it meets your.
Nothing legal about this.
All right, let's put this in a form of a motion, so we'll present it to the city council for next Tuesday night, or tomorrow night.
Make a motion our theme be celebrating the past while forging the future.
Is there a second?
second.
Any discussion? Are you ready to vote? All in favor say aye. All opposed say nays. Ayes have it. We've got it recorded, and we'll report that to the work session tomorrow night with the city council. The next one is continuing discussion of the Tennessee Old Timers Baseball. I am really having a hard time getting a hold of the local person. Today I called the state director of the organizations, and he was out of town, and I left him a message and got a text back that he would call me tomorrow when he gets back into town. So hopefully I'll know something more, but they know what we want, and we've got a place to put them, and at the bottom of the fort, and if they can work that out. The reenactment at the old courthouse, that's got to be Jack and Robert, I'm assuming.
I think the original plan was to have Kingston historic figures around our lawn. And it had been talked about having this tonight originally, but that's probably not necessary. I think we will need, people who would do this, the speeches would be kind of so that they are historically accurate. So, if anybody wants to be Gideon Morgan or Thomas and Clark, or people that, dress up or can tell us, about them, that's one of the things that, visiting cemeteries are nice, but, unfortunately, they have a lot of divots and holes and stuff. So the original plan was to have people like at different corners of the old courthouse that people could walk around, and that person would tell about their contribution to the history. And I talked to Celia Simon. She was supposed to be, a few years ago, she was the horse lady, the Mary Love, and I think that would be good if she could bring her horse and do the part of Mary Love, because I'm sure kids, even though this will be for all ages, it's not just a kid thing, I think kids are important to try to read. So, it's just a matter of at least kind of getting the program, together and then deciding or getting people to place it. I don't have an idea of how many people or what you would need, in terms of speakers. But that's, pretty much an idea of that part.
When have you thought about what days, and so that we can we're trying to get this calendar together, and Sharon mentioned last meeting about a to-do list, which is on the agenda, so we need to carry something forward, but we need to set a date where that we can end the advertisement. People will know what day that Lewis and Clark are going to be at the corners.
I haven't really thought of a particular day. It could be, again, in the evening or at night.
Okay.
It could be any type of, say, weekend day.
But that's something that we're going to do. We feel strong enough that that's something that we can make happen at the courthouse.
Yeah.
Okay.
We talked about this for several years and just have not gotten
Okay.
the follow through.
And the reason I called on you, you weren't here last meeting, so you were kind of the scapegoat. Okay.
Robert, I think that sounds wonderful. I was just thinking about, the possibility of maybe having different stations around the courthouse where people could just tell stories, not just a famous person, but a story about something significant in the county, and just have like a historical board or something, and maybe get high school kids to develop some kind of historical board and display it and talk about a lot of stations, with a lot of people saying, well, this is what happened here on this day, this is what happened, and then the walking, dressed up people would also add to it, I think.
Right. The reason that we had decided around the old courthouse is there you could, talk to say, I'm Gideon Morgan, that's my house across the street. I think we had thought about trying to say, so people can see, if you were a founding member of the Bethel Presbyterian Church or that, it would kind of give people where things were, beside the history of that person, but it kind of ties the town. I mean, that's one of the things that needs to be.
We also talked about that, we talked about writing the script so that it would be the true story, not, the elaboration story.
And while we're there, we'll skip over to Jack at the fort, because we've also talked about having reenactments and events at the fort to coincide with that. That's not the only thing, so.
Well, at the moment, at the fort, just to bring everybody up to speed out there, you're gonna see a lot of work going on over the next several months. Folks, it will be done before the birthday, thank goodness, we hope. But I'm getting a little bit of feedback from the reenactment groups. Some have expressed interest, some have not. However, we do have the Sons of the Revolution out of Oak Ridge are working for us, sort of behind the scenes, because they have contacts I do not have with the reenactment groups. I hope to hear from them in the next couple of weeks. At the moment, I do have some other features lined up that are in place for the Friday day of the reenactment for the opening ceremonies. Until I get that confirmed in writing, I won't go into detail with them here. But so it's starting to fill in. So we'll have stuff. It's going something will be going on all 3 days. That's about as much as I can tell you at this particular time.
Okay. Did you make another contact? You'd mentioned about the master gardeners were wanting to participate.
Yes, I have reached out to them. I talked to them the other day. They're going to look to see what they can do, and they're going to reach out at the next March meeting, and we'll probably be here to say what they'd like to do as far as helping with the beautification of the downtown and putting things together that would be from that time frame up until now appropriate as far as plantings and things of that nature.
And then we talked about too, like the thing that these ladies put on when Sue makes her cookies and that kind of stuff, like the candlelight service. It was really neat. I think this last one was one of the best ones that we've had. One that I could see a whole lot better going up the trail because we had better lighting. I think that really helped it a whole lot more. Those little lanterns really worked out good. But you know, if we could plan something like that too out there with them taking part. You know, I hate to have it at nighttime, but that's.
Well, right now the draft plan is that there's going to be events out there at night.
Yeah, but I mean, you know, it's just like to have it daytime, nighttime, both, some kind of event, which we're doing. Yeah. Okay. Back in line the way I've had it on my sheet here. Sandy, did you by chance do any contacting with the Rome Choral Society since that was your idea?
I have not.
Okay, so we'll slide that to next time, and that would be one of the same things, if they could participate with some sort of event that we could have maybe at the amphitheater, because we talked about booking concerts or something during that month to have it at the amphitheater. And ladies, what we talked about doing was maybe not having everything during this month historical. It's more having people come into Kingston and look at the old stuff, but kind of look at, and that'll go with our theme, looking at the new stuff too. We were wanting to use the amphitheater that's on site at the, down there. We've also got the, we're gonna have the street festival that week on that Saturday. That's gonna have some of the themes that are in this too. So we're gonna try to have something every single day. That got an essay contest that we'll get to in a minute when we get with County Commission lady Hamilton over here, that we got a coloring contest for the younger kids, an essay contest, and then the high school is getting involved doing things. So we're going to have things every single day almost in October, especially every day, with Wednesday being the birthday when the governor's supposed to come. So when you hear us jumping back and forth, you'll kind of see we've got old stuff and new stuff and going from there. On Wednesday, what we're waiting on confirmation from the political figures. We're inviting the mayor has reached out to the governor, depending on his schedule. We're going to have a actual birthday party we've got some people that we're going to make a big cake. That's where we'd like to use the quilt. If it's during the daytime, we're going to have the school come up and see the governor. The band would play, and we've even talked about, now that they fixed the old courthouse, that he may actually give his talk from the balcony of the old courthouse, and we'd block the streets off. So that's our plan. It just depends on if he can't come till 3:30 in the afternoon. We can't get the band, we can't get the kids from the school because of buses, and so we're waiting on him. But that's our goal, is to have an actual everybody gather at Court Street and Cumberland Street, shut those streets down, and have a birthday party, and let all the politicians come and talk. I know that Mayor Neal has reached out to our senators, and I think we've already talked to our local senator and local representatives. They're on board, and we're just trying to have a big day on that Wednesday.
Then the weekend,
26th is the country fair, or isn't that right?
Fall Festival is the 26th. And the reenactment at the fort was supposed to be in the 18th, 19th, and 20th.
Originally, we looked at that, but we made the decision to have it on the 25th, 26th, 27th.
So we'll have that at the fort. And then this old-timey baseball deal we're talking about, they would play at the multi-field at the foot of the fort. And they're from Knoxville with two teams that would come in and play 1846 rules of baseball. That's a little newer than our celebration, but it's still a celebration that we thought that people would like to see. And then we're up for suggestions after that. We'll have a room dedicated at the community center for old pictures, quilt displays, anything else in the old council chambers. So we've got a door that will lead out and lead in that we're going to put on display. The essay contest stuff will be on display down there. And then if you're a Facebook follower, you've noticed that people are beginning to follow us and that they're putting all kind of old pictures. The older the better. The state's sending us a copy of the is that the city charter and the city constitution, or the legislation that established the city of Kingston. And you know, we're what, 12th, 13th, 14th oldest city in the state, and of course we'll have something with the capital of the day. Even though sometimes I wonder if that's something we should be bragging about. You know, we kind of hoodooed the Indians to get to be the capital for a day, but. So we'll have all kinds of stuff like that for every day. Miss Carly, did you get all your stuff on your fall festival? They're up to what, 80 or 90 vendors?
Working on it. I did have a question. Did you guys want a spot for the Spring Fest to set up? Just to kind of start pushing stuff out, because spots are filling up kind of quick, and I just want to save one for us if we wanted it.
Yes.
Yep.
I would think so.
Because I don't know if you can have souvenirs, or, you know, like, you could have a generic T-shirt for the whole year that, you know, if you wanted to sell them.
Yeah, I would say that we need one, and then when is it?
March 23rd.
Oh, it's right around the corner then, isn't it?
We have time.
Yeah.
We still got time for that, though.
Yeah, but I think we need something, even if we don't have, but copies of the logo, copies of the slogan, and a tentative schedule of what if we're going to do, and somebody talking about it. This is.
Keep it alive. Keep it alive all
Yeah.
year.
Yeah. Okay.
Keep it in front of everybody.
You have anything else, Kate? Reenactment, we're working on that. Old Timers Baseball, we're working on that. Your to-do list?
We've covered a lot of the to-do list, but I want to go over a few things. The bulk of it's with Nancy.
Yeah,
so
and I've
that-
saved her to last. I hope she don't mind.
Our logo's complete. Thank you, ladies, very much for coming. If you're going to do the quilt, that is going to be a phenomenal part of this event, no doubt about it. So Jack's got the reenactment in process. Tim has got all of the officials notified. Kelly, did you ever hear from Betty Rose Bakery or next week about doing the cake?
I've sent emails and Facebook messages to both, and I've not heard anything.
These
I mean, I
geese
know
has
it's
just
a
got
lot.
started enough to even,
I know it's a long way off, but maybe, just as a backup, we should ask Food City if there's, you know, just to see if they're interested in doing it. I mean, I would think we would need to have someone selected by June, July timeframe to do that big, ever how big we're planning on doing it, Nancy.
I was just gonna suggest, Angie Hendrickson, she works at Roane County High School, she does kind of a bakery on wheels, and, she might be considered as well. She'd be happy to help anything in Kingston.
Okay.
Angie bakes cakes, Angie makes cakes.
Do they make cakes at Oliver Springs, Tim? Now, they've got a class at Oliver Springs on.
Okay, have we decided that we're gonna do a parade on the 4th of July? I hope that we can pull together a parade on the 4th of July. I think that would add to, we had one for years.
and then it quit.
Yeah, so,
I still think we need to.
You know, we talked about that earlier, about trying to make sure that the that the school's involved so that the band could be there and, you know, they draw a crowd. And we talked about having our parade at homecoming time, but that's not worked out as far as dates, so.
We could still have it at homecoming also.
Yeah, I'm saying we could have two if we had to.
So can we decide, Tony, and put it to a vote tonight that yes, we are gonna have a 225th birthday, 4th of July parade this year?
There's a motion on the floor by Sharon, there's a second by Glenda to have some sort of parade, and we'll start working on it.
Communicated on that?
Any discussion? All in favor say aye. Opposed, no? Okay, we're gonna have a parade. Now then, who's gonna take care of it? Who's gonna try to?
We'll call Jim Wash and bring him in to get it.
Okay, good. Sounds like Glenda,
No,
because she's gonna bring her old fire truck, and we found a thing that they gave. How much did they give for it?
$6,200. $6,200.
$6,275.
There's the minutes.
Yeah.
So,
6,200.
you almost gave that much for it when you bought it at auction 10 years ago.
It was your fault.
I know it. Well, I tried to get more than that out of it. You caught me.
Mr. Chairman, I believe Sonny had something.
July 4th? July 4th. Christmas.
Thank you. Yes.
Good. There's Sonny's on there.
He's the parade
Just so
king.
everybody knows, that's on a Thursday this year.
July 4th is Thursday?
Yeah.
Parade needs to be that morning. No, not that night, so we're crowded that night.
And then we're having, that's good that Sonny and them's on that because that's where everything else would go to as far as 4th of July celebration on what we're having. I don't know what we're having for 4th of July. What are we having? You two are on it. Thank you. Okay.
A lot.
What else, Miss Sharon?
Did we decide, okay, so advertising, you had stated that Rose State Community College TV will show the videos, anything video related that we have.
Yes.
We're doing social media, and I was thinking maybe possibly try to get, is it Live at 5 in Knoxville?
Oh, yeah, Live at 5
You
at
know, they
4.
cover this sort of thing, have Tony interview and Glenda interview with them. We can get that scheduled.
Yeah.
What do y'all-
We'll let the mayor be the point person.
Do we not get more coverage from WVLT? Isn't that the one?
They came down to the baby thing the other day.
Yeah,
Well, either one, just
Okay.
one of the two.
both.
Or both, yes, that'd be better.
I'd like to, Chairman, I'd like to add to that as far as advertising goes. We need to remember to reach out to the Rome Alliance because they have contact points for advertising that's all over everywhere.
I've contacted Stacy Wilson today to see if she can come. She couldn't this month, said she'll be in touch with me.
Okay, sponsorship.
Hmm?
Sponsorships, have we made a decision on that, or is that something you can put forward to the work committee tomorrow, or are we too early on it?
I think we need to ask for their blessings to solicit money. And for those of you that we were talking about some sort of prize money for the essay contest, for the school kids is what we were looking at, you know. Either, I don't know what kids like anymore.
Money.
Money,
Money.
gift card or something, you know, to
No money.
Money
first
and
place,
cell phone.
second place, and,
Money.
And I'll talk about that in a little bit.
okay.
Okay,
But we'll run it by the council to make sure that,
get their blessing.
that they bless it, that we're asking for money on behalf of the city for that purpose.
Levi Langford was here the last time, and he's gonna have food trucks for the fall festival or for the reenactment. What was he scheduling food trucks for? All of the above?
I wouldn't think so.
I normally do the food trucks for
Well, remember
4th
he was
and
here at the last meeting, and he said, or at least in my notes, did I get that wrong?
His mother fell and is having surgery as we speak, broke her jaw in 4 places.
Ow.
Fell in her apartment.
I mean, that's just something we can
Yeah.
follow up on. He had volunteered to help with food trucks if we needed to.
Yeah.
So that was just in the notes. Master gardeners, we've covered that. 2 things to possibly add to the to-do list. Someone had suggested to me doing a time capsule and burying it at the old courthouse. putting things in from today and putting it somewhere at the old courthouse for future generations to dig up and find. The other thing was, most importantly, I think we need to do, pictures of each department with the city of Kingston. City council, mayor, police department, our state leaders, representatives, because I have, looking back through all these historical pictures, there was a newspaper clipping that someone sent me from, I think, the celebration that was done in the 70s maybe, and there were a lot of those pictures in there. Now, this would be something that would go on social media, in the Roane County News. I just think that formal pictures with every one of their uniforms and dress, such as the pictures on the wall here, would be a good thing to add to this.
That was 50 years ago. There was some Browns pictures on there.
Gee, thanks, Tim. Yeah. Yeah, somebody sent me that. Tim sent it to me, somebody sent it to him.
Well, I saw it at the Juvenile Event Center one time.
Yeah.
I was up there and took a picture of it.
Yeah. I know that the councils, it's time for them to take pictures again, month after next or something, so I'm sure that we could,
Can you pull the other departments into that schedule
yeah,
easily or
you know,
not?
times are changing. The police department may be iffy. They don't, you know, we were gonna do something with them once before and they didn't want their pictures
They just
broadcasted.
recently, I think, had department pictures made, so
Okay.
there might be something
Yeah,
available
we can do
for
that.
that. But our new website's gonna be coming online here pretty soon, so
Okay,
they're gonna get new pictures of all of us
Okay.
anyway, so.
And then the last thing I had on the to-do list was a bulk of things for Nancy. And, we had down that Kingston Elementary School was gonna do a poster, Cherokee Middle School an essay, Roane County High School, Keith McDaniel video, and also Roane County High School had said that they would assist with the parade. At that, I will turn it over to Nancy.
let me get Sonny before we go to Nancy. Sonny, you were supposed to schedule, make sure we had the community center room, and we've got that. The old the old city council room's what we wanted.
Yeah, except what I might have to do, they have them switch, you see, we have 3 times we have early voting.
I've got my opinion about that. This is a city event, a city building. I think we take precedent over anybody else. And that's just me as a Tony Brown person.
Second move would be, okay, we're cool.
I mean, they've been in every room down there. That room has got an outside door that they don't use. They could go on by there, and I like it that we're gonna have it during early voting. If there's a line, somebody will come to us first before they get there. But that's just me, and it's up to I can't tell you to do that. The city manager is the one that's in charge of the buildings, but that's just my personal thought. They don't pay us nothing. I'll get off my soapbox. And then you'd mentioned about games and stuff, old time games. I let that go over my head the last time.
I was trying to, I mean, I have to do some research, like tug of war, or we used to have the sack races.
Okay.
You can just do some research, usually it's something inexpensive.
Yeah. Okay. Good. So you're
Later,
get us a list of things that you talk about, and I'm assuming we'd have them maybe the same date, so that the kids would all be there at the same time for the something.
1800
Yeah.
Olympics or something.
Yeah. And then is that all that you had? Did you think of anything else?
Well, I had, not the toys or the kids, but I did do a little bit of research if they were interested, kinda like souvenirs to give out that aren't that expensive.
Yeah.
Is we've had them in the past, I've got one somewhere, but I couldn't find it, is what I call the wood nickels, or they used to call them round tuits, where you can get them from anywhere from 15 to 18 cents in both sides. And then, so that's like $1,000 for, I mean, that's nothing. Like, if you want to give them to all the kids, students. The other one was, I haven't really, is, somebody brought up the idea of magnets. Because people don't have a front deal anymore. But like magnets for your refrigerators and stuff, is something like that. And that's usually, I don't think that's right, but I found one place it was like $1,000 for $100.
Yeah, that doesn't sound right, does it?
Yeah, that doesn't sound right.
That actually
But
is
do it
right.
if you can.
Is it really?
Yeah,
I
I
Good.
haven't done the research.
I talked to Sonny about this earlier today, and I reached out to a couple of they that do souvenirs, And they both state that magnets are the one thing they cannot keep in stock.
Huh.
As soon as they come in, they go right out the door. Everybody collects magnets like you collect state magnets to make a
I put my
magnet
stuff in the
map of the United
refrigerator
States or
with
whatever,
My grocery list.
big one. And the prices are super cheap.
Well, check on that and see what they are, and that's,
Because I checked on it, online, it said they don't stick to stainless steel, but I called Patterson's and they said that's incorrect. The main thing is get a sample and then see if it sticks. And most refrigerators, the new ones are stainless steel.
yeah. Now, all this stuff that we're talking about, if it's got a price tag to it, guys, remember that we gotta start writing this down, because somewhere or another, we're gonna have to go to the city council by next month, as a guess. We've gotta have a budget together to give them, because they're putting the budget together as we speak. It'll come to council in May. First of May, probably, to be adopted before July.
Because the main thing is the logo I got is from the company out of California that does the pins.
They're expensive.
So to get I guess I could take this to somebody else to do it, because I'm sure they aren't gonna send me a super proof until we send them some money.
Yeah. Back to the comment about the time capsule. Is there a time capsule at the old courthouse that you know of now, Robert, from any time?
Not on the lawn. I have the one from 1976 on the 3rd floor, because Isabel Gresham was concerned as to where it is, and it's not something that you bury. So it's like I was talking, I think, to Bev Sams, that hopefully, or somebody else whose kids are still alive, remember that it's there.
Yeah.
I don't know what kind of thing you would use to keep it, from getting wet.
Plastic will deteriorate.
Yeah, that's kind of the problem, is they will deteriorate. I know some of the schools, have had them in the past. I can't remember if it's the old high school before it was torn down. Whether or not that's feasible to protect it,
Almost all your modern ones are made.
And my only other comment about putting it at the old courthouse, I'd rather put it on city property than non-city property, because we don't own the old courthouse. Either the Ford or City Hall out here, dig it in the flower garden, or have it down at the fort somewhere, if we talk about that more. Okay? Any of the committee have anything else before I go to our quasar committee woman, school board, county commissioner, Wonder Woman, Rome State person, Nancy?
Well, thank you, Chairman Brown. As he has title, about 3 weeks ago was appointed to the county commission to fulfill a vacancy, which means I had to resign from the school board. But as I assured some of our teachers, our faculty, as well as Mr. Brown, that does not mean I'm leaving our schools, because I'm so involved and will continue to do that. So I'm honored to be able to serve in this capacity. We've gotten a lot of work done in a month, so I want to give you kind of just some things about each of our schools or where we are. Let me just kind of add, Alive at 5 at 4. One of our former Roane County News reporters, David Doonan, now is the videographer for that show, and he actually has called me in the last couple of weeks wanting to know what the dates were, so I gave him the date of our Fall Fest. So he, and I think it's Katie Inman, is the one who does that, and he is on it, and he just is waiting for some direction and would give Kingston whatever promotion that we need to. Kingston Elementary, couple things. We're going to do a poster contest, their art contest. I was able to meet with that committee last week with our principal there, Tim Thompson, and 2 teachers. And a couple things. Our kindergarten, first grade, second grade, they're going to be researching some information about the city of Kingston to incorporate into their social studies area. And I believe Tim has talked with also Robert. Our 3rd, 4th, and 5th grade throughout that week or sometime during the month, they're going to do a field trip during the day where they're going to take, half of them will go to Southwest Point for a tour, and the other half will go to the courthouse, and then they'll flip-flop. and they're going to do it on different days. And he said he's going to work with you on when all that is. So that way we're able to get those children involved in another way besides music we had talked about earlier, and they may do lunch there or something. So they're really excited about that. They actually worked up kind of a poster rubric on kind of what they think it might look like. They've got some things to change, but tonight Mr. Sims gave me kind of moving to the essay contest, some dollar amounts that Morgan County used, which I thought was pretty good. And they used with theirs, but Kingston Elementary, I think I would say at this point, they and Roane County High School are probably the most organized at this point, but I think because they have more things involved than just Cherokee. Let's see, the music teacher at Kingston Elementary, we talked about maybe getting some of her choir or something together. She is going on maternity leave next year, having a baby, and they have not chosen who her replacement's going to be, but she wants to meet with her or him, whoever that is, and see if we can get those kids on a docket to sing at some kind of musical, what do you call that, Carly?
Fall Fest.
Yeah, the Fall Fest, whatever. I guess the agenda, who's singing or performing that day. Yeah. So she said she does want to do that, but probably would need to wait till about May, because then she will know who's going to replace her and who can kind of carry it over, because she's not coming back until December.
It'd be great to have those kids perform when the governor comes, if it's when his schedule allows that they could be there.
That would be great. Yeah. So one of the things that she did say, when I talked about maybe we were thinking about like a 2:00 kind of something, and of course the buses was an issue. One thing that she did say, maybe some of her 5th grade, an ensemble could come, and we would get their parents, because that way they would have to get home from there, but that's possible. So when we know what time that's going to be, to let her know. Cherokee Middle School, their team has met together. I'm actually meeting with them in 2 weeks, and I'm going to take this. Jack, thank you so much for sending this rubric about their essay contest. I know that Mrs. Coram has a 6th, 7th, and 8th grade ELA teacher, English teacher, who's going to be a part of that. So they're going to create a rubric, and once we've got those rubrics confirmed from the school level, I'll bring it to here to let you guys look at it, because they're waiting to kind of see what we thought. I was the one that asked for a theme, because they asked for a theme, so thank you for that. Once that's the prize money. The band, Julia Stewart is the assistant band director at Roane County High School, but works at the middle school with our band there. The middle school band and the high school band on the day of our event will have a band competition in the afternoon, which means, she said, if there were select students that wanted to come play, or just a small group, she said she doubted that the band, and she and Andrew Lane share the same commonality in this, they would need to be a part of the morning time instead of in the afternoon, because they usually leave to go to their band competitions about 12:30. So she said if there was select students, she would audition them and make sure that they can actually do something that would contribute to the meaning of this day. Roane County High School, Ellen Daly is working on her plans for interviewing, I'm going to call them Kingston Treasures, generations of our citizens who are students in the fall would actually, in August and September, go interview to write their papers and things on the city of Kingston. Mr. Brown, I don't know if you've talked to Mr. McDaniel yet. I know we try to get you connected about the video piece. Andrew Lane also said the same thing that Julia did about the band. He said on the day of the event of the birthday party on Wednesday, he doesn't know that he can commit however, he can get an ensemble there to play for, so we may not have, 50 people, but we might have 20. He said that would be very, very easy to walk from school. Also, Miss Hudson, who is our art teacher there, she is very interested about preserving the students' work in her class, her fall classes, and she and I have talked, and she would like, maybe with Mr. Brown, you and I, to go to the community center and figure out where work could be displayed. She said, it could be a myriad of things, but if we could kind of talk about what room it would be in, how it would be displayed. Her need would be if she needs some, I guess what they would call, what's those command strips to do kind of on her. I think she has like some screens or something if you're going to do like, art that's on the, painting or something like that. And I told her I'd be happy to take care of that for her. But right now we've got Ellen at the high school for English, Mr. McDaniel, Andrew Lane, and Miss Hudson. So once we kind of know the schedule for the Fall Fest, that's when Mr. Lane can kind of work with some students to see, are there any students who aren't going to the band competition who might be able to help out here? They're all very interested, very interested. And Ellen said once we know our football schedule for the fall semester, which I'm not sure that it's been published yet, that's when we'll know when homecoming is, which will be. Yes. So, those are my updates. What questions do you have, or what kind of work do you have for me?
One thing I would suggest on the essay contest,
Mm-hmm.
because it wouldn't be really any expense, is the city or somebody could take the logo, come up with a format,
Mm-hmm.
and it can be generic, but give them certificates.
Yes.
Which would have their name, and we could just make it generic, put their name, and put what the award is.
Mm-hmm.
Because that way that gives them, if you give them cash, that's gone.
Yeah.
Give them a certificate, that's something to stick on their refrigerator or something.
Right. Well, and one thing, maybe you and I talked about this, but we may have just mentioned in passing, was that this is my opinion. I think anytime that we have an opportunity to get our constituents in our meetings like this, I think it's always a win-win. And when kids are recognized, their parents show up.
Yeah.
And so I would think that maybe our city council meeting, they could honor them in some way, maybe give their speech or whatever it is. So, anytime that we can get these parents involved and recognize students, I think would be really significant.
Tim's shaking his head yes.
Good.
And as soon as we mention it to the city council tomorrow night, or the city manager about our room, we'll get him to instruct the community center which room we're going to use.
That's awesome.
The, a couple of quick questions. As Sonny mentioned about a certificate, I manage a massive art contest up in Morgan County with the state park I'm at. There, not only do we give a cash, whatever prize for the contest, they also get a certificate. And as Sonny said, they're dirt cheap to do. So I think if we come up with cash prizes, there still ought to be a certificate with it. That's number one. Number two, on whatever day turns out to be the most visible to have the students there, be it the Wednesday of the birthday, or on the weekend when we're having the fall festival or the reenactment at the fort, is that the potential exists to get the schools out early, a half day, at least the Kingston schools, Kingston High School, middle school, elementary school, so they can attend those events. I know that's probably looking at it like it's some kind of snow day, but by getting them out early, it opens up that opportunity to get them there, their families, that kind of stuff.
I will definitely ask Mr. Jenkins. That would be at his discretion. I think there's a lot of factors in that, but I would let him make that call. But I will definitely reach out to him, and he and I have a great working relationship, and we'll be happy to do that. Yeah.
Something to do with their citizenship awards. Each grade, I think, gives
Yes.
a citizenship award
Mm-hmm.
to do something like that.
They do. They do character awards, so honesty, those kind of things. Okay, that's really good.
And if you check about prize money for
Mhm.
the essay contest, so we know how much we're talking about
Yeah.
next month,
Yeah,
just to see if there's just 3 of them, or if they do it per grade, or what she recommends, so we can start working on that.
Well, I may not have had the permission, but I guess it's better to ask forgiveness than permission. I've actually started recruiting some people who would say, if our city of Kingston did this and they were looking for sponsors, would you sponsor this? So I've got a list of people who would be happy to do that if we choose to do that. So just know I'm happy to get that going. So, yeah. Any other thoughts?
The Fall Fest, if it's going to be the same as it has been in the past, it'll be from 11 to 4.
Mhm.
If, that's something that we need to get them in early, we can have them first up to bat, ready to perform at 11.
Okay.
I would have to clear that with JR, my
Right.
boss, but
Well, one of the things, Carla, that I've kind of shared with them, basically the music teacher at Kingston Elementary, Julia, as well as Mr. Lane, was once we kind of know who could, I would get them connected with you,
Okay.
and they would communicate directly with you if that's okay.
Yep, that's
And
good.
I'm happy to be a part of it. So
Yeah.
Okay.
just know I'm so delighted to do this, and I think our schools are very excited about getting our children involved in this. So
Yeah.
thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you for helping us, Nancy,
Sure,
so much.
happy to do it.
As always, I always try to keep it to an hour. We're going to go around one more time. Robert, any final thoughts? Sonny? Jack?
One thing, I talked to the Rome County News, and they said if we want to get together, and I talked to Robert a little bit about it, to start putting in a weekly column that would just go from whenever we start here now up until the birthday time of the history of Kingston and various things, and start getting the history in the paper out in front of the people. The length will vary, but he said the reporter or the head of that does that stuff over there said he would make sure it gets in, and we could do it every week, every other week, whatever y'all think.
Okay. Yeah, they're just Wednesdays now, so it cuts down your selection dates, doesn't it?
Yeah. So.
Okay.
Did they mention a
I
cost
think
with
we'd
that,
start
Jack?
that immediately.
Did they mention a cost?
Nope. We put it in for us. It's not like an advertisement. It's like a public service kind of thing.
Then you all gonna work on that?
But you can keep announcing the 225th.
Yeah.
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
Put out one of the Sevierville articles.
Yeah, I'm tired of all that stuff happening in Sevierville.
Yeah.
We get to read a lot about it.
Glenda?
No, sir, I'm good.
Sharon? Carly? Your Honor?
Make a motion, adjourn.
Madam Secretary, you have anything?
Just before we send out the meeting agendas from now on, if anybody has any ideas that they want on the agenda, please let me know. Cause I'm just kinda
Okay.
trying
Mayor
to
Neal?
figure it out.
Ladies, hope you've enjoyed our meeting. Thank you all for participating very much. Motion to adjourn.
Motion.
Is there a second? All in favor say aye. All opposed say no. The ayes have it. Motion carries. This meeting is adjourned. Thank you. We've got more done this meeting than we had.
Yeah.